Hello, welcome to the Sting of Time, episode 3, the podcast / video series where I, Leeloo, and my friend
Oskar.
watch 2002's hit movie Scorpion King.
We're starting to forget what the movie is called
Yes,
already.
it's not
Not a
called
good
Sting of
sign.
Time. 52 times in a row. This is watch number 3. I looked up the box office for this movie because I started feeling guilty about calling it 2002's hit movie a bunch.
Yeah, but was it actually a hit
Yes,
movie?
it was definitely a hit movie. It made fucking bonkers amounts of money. So, yes, it is in fact true.
That's impressive.
Yes. I think it made $152 million at the box office.
Do we know anything about how this movie reviewed when it came out?
No idea.
Because there's all, I mean, just that something can be a hit, but it doesn't mean it's was received well.
Critical hit, not a
Exactly.
critical darling. But
because I think that we quite transparently here have a bit of a bias that it was not received well, but such things can be surprising when you go back to the origin of things. That maybe it was initially received well, and then everyone watched it 52 times and realized that wasn't the case.
yeah, I wonder how The Mummy 2 was received.
Mm.
I know that The Rock held the Guinness record for most well-paid actor, first gig actor ever, I think, for The Mummy 2. I think he got $5.5 million for just being in The Mummy 2. And he's in that for like 3 seconds. So
time well spent.
yeah, I guess he got 3D scan and all that mumbo jumbo. Didn't really help that much, I guess, but
Mummy Jumbo.
Yeah, this is watch number 3, as we said. We went into this with or no, we didn't actually go into it with any plans.
No, we decided rather early on this watch that we were gonna look for three specific things. I think I'm not sure I remember all 3, but
yes, it ended up being 3. One was statues. I think we sort of dropped that one. There's lots of cool statues in the beginning of the movie.
Exactly, we're trying to pay attention to the different statues, like of different gods and animals and stuff. The second one was we were gonna pay attention to the sidekick character, Armpit, or whatever his name was. He says to Dwayne that the condition for him freeing him from the anthill is something like
well, it's don't kill me. Number 1 is
exactly.
Don't kill me.
Promise not to kill me?
Number 1, don't kill me, and number 2, you have to take me with you on your adventures and share the spoils.
Yes.
With me.
Promise to take me with you and share in the spoils of your adventures.
What? All right, fine. Yes, I promise.
And that made us think we have to pay extra attention to what does he get out of this entire endeavor. What is the actual spoils or reward that Armpit walks away from this with?
Yeah, it does actually help a bunch in the movie. Not only does it, he makes sure that Matthias, the Dwayne King, doesn't die. That's like number 1. But he also, with Theoden King, blows up the foundation stone.
Yeah, he's great help there until he hits his head on the...
Yeah, but he's the one who makes sure it explodes.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, he even though he hits his head, he's still the one who's responsible for widespread destruction and death afterwards.
Yes,
among the guards and probably the citizens of Scorpion Town.
But as far as we can tell, Armpit gains 0 spoils.
Yep. Zero. You barely see Armpit in like this final ceremony victory lap scene. I think you can kind of make him out in the background
Yeah.
of some scene. Like he's like hello, I am also here. Haha, the movie's
Yeah,
over.
it's like the Aragorn coronation scene
Yeah,
for Dwayne.
it's like the Aragorn coronation scene, but instead of the hobbits doing like the kneeling, and then it's like, oh, my friends, you kneel to no one. It's like maybe they're kneeling somewhere in the back, where they're like
Yeah,
down at the walls.
nobody saw it.
Yeah, they're not even up on like the helicopter landing platform of Minas Tirith or whatever it is. It's like they're down by the gates, kneeling like, oh, I can't believe Aragorn's king. Ah, how swell, or something like that. That's what Armpit is like.
Yeah, no spoils.
The third
Yeah.
thing, and the thing we definitely focused the most on, was we decided to go to the bottom regarding exactly how many times does Dwayne brandish his sword
Yes.
during the movie.
We've talked about this in the past.
Yeah,
Maybe not on the show. I don't think we've
so but
really
it's definitely come up
but
while we watch.
we've noticed that it's a lot of swing.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of drawing the sword and then with little flourish and that sort of thing. So we did a count, and I think the final count came to we had to do a bit of a recount
Yes.
because
Important to get these things
hard
right.
hard work we're doing here. But it came out to 10 brandishes in total for Dwayne.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
But there's like one technicality in there, in that
Yeah,
one of the brandishes is one could consider it a foul.
Mm,
It's Balthazar tosses the sword to
exactly.
Dwayne, and Dwayne catches it, but it does make a swing noise in
Exactly.
the air, so we counted it.
Yeah, we decided it was technically a brandish. It filled all the criteria. It's not as if we had specified it had to be brandished out of a sheath.
Well, we
be...
could just consider Balthazar the sheath for
yeah,
this.
Absolutely.
Those were the three things we looked for. We've also talked a bit about what a Sting of Time, or maybe a Scorpion King in general, drinking game would entail. And I have compiled a proto version of this, which I am sure will expand and contract maybe in different ways. But of course, you drink for every brandished sword, and that's for every brandished sword. There's more than 10.
Not only Dwayne,
but there's 10.
Any brandished sword.
10 from Dwayne, and you have to know be aware that the toss is a brandish. You have to finish your drink every time Dwayne knocks Armpit out.
Which is at least 2 times.
At least 2 times. And you have to drink every time a character says a version of the phrase, "It seems the gods favor me today."
Which is at least 2 times.
I think it's like 4, maybe 5. Yeah. So that's the proto version.
I guess it would depend on how lenient you are in bending that phrase, I guess, which I think you would become maybe either more or less lenient depending on how late the phrase is in the movie.
But I think the like maybe the 3 standout definite versions of them is pretty late.
Yeah.
So, but I think Balthazar says it one time, definitely. Because he says it when Dwayne shows up.
Exactly.
Oh, the gods favor me.
The gods are good to me.
Memnon says it, obviously, in like the final battle, and I think I can't remember now, but someone else I think
There's
says it
a double
somewhere.
from Memnon since you hear it in
Yeah, that might be it.
the sorcerer's vision.
The sorcerer. Oh, I just remember. Maybe moving on a bit, but I just remembered another, I feel, important thing we started to think about was Theoden's tower
Oh yeah.
that he that he lives in. I guess he there's a scene in the movie where he shoots Dwayne out of a catapult out the window of this tower, and you get this big shot of the outside of the tower and a weird CGI Dwayne flying in an arc into another tower, I guess. And this gives the impression the tower is rather high up, like it's a pretty tall tower. But then you also have a scene where Theoden, at a later point in the movie, is like looking out the window of his tower, watching some commotion in the streets, like guards
Yeah.
going around, and this to us in the moment seemed really like this could not possibly be a realistic vantage point for him to
No
look.
fucking way.
Like it's
He's
like
like
is
a
this some,
meter off the ground.
like is this some kind of what's it called, the Escher pattern labyrinth thing, like is this some non-Euclidean tower?
Yeah. Well, it
Which
seems
is,
to be, right? Because
yeah.
you talked about that with the Theoden King's workshop, but at the end of the movie, when Balthasar is fighting in the square, he fights all the way from the bottom of the square up
Yeah,
to the top of the tower because Dwayne has scaled aside to fight Memnon. And there's a scene where Memnon just trashes the place and sets it on fire for whatever reason. And then someone is like knocking on the door, and he goes, fire in the front, palace guard at the rear. It seems I'm keeping my head tonight, Acadian. And then Balthasar knocks through the door.
Exactly.
And the funny part of this, you could sort of buy that he fought his way up, even though he does it in like a millisecond. But White Boy, Mr. Bow.
Yeah, Mr. Bow.
The guy who rides the horse through the really small corridor. He then has to have run the horse up the entirety of the temple.
Yeah,
or the
and
palace.
it's a huge temple. It's an enormous temple.
Yeah,
it's like the horse. I'm surprised the horse isn't, dead.
Maybe that's why the charge failed. It didn't have enough speed.
The horse was so exhausted. It was like, I can't do this anymore. Oh God.
It seems the God's favor.
Gods do not favor horses this day.
Yeah, so the temple is surely a bit funky. Is perhaps a way to put it.
Yeah, but maybe this is something that could lend a sense of I don't want to say realism, but it might help us make sense of how the tower explodes as well when they detonate the explosives at the foundation stone. We paid extra attention to exactly where things blow up, how much it blows up, and what happens when they set off the explosives. And it's completely nonsensical.
Yeah, it seems to fill the temple with fire. That's about what it does. The foundation stone doesn't seem to have much to do with the foundation of anything.
I feel like they could have just placed it anywhere, really, in that case, because and it was something like how they set off the explosive and it explodes like at the top of the temple, and then it's something like it explodes in front of Memnon as he's flying off the temple, having gotten shot by Dwayne, and then it also explodes like below and behind him, so he falls into an explosion as well. So it's like the explosion is like here and here and here. So it's like, what is this, a cluster bomb or something? It's like or napalm bombed the temple from inside. I don't know. But it is a Chinese formula.
It is a Chinese formula.
Never know.
You know,
how
today
those
when I
work.
woke up, I got up pretty early, like at 6 a.m. or something. And then I worked out. I don't remember what I tend to watch something when I work out. I'm not entirely sure what the fuck I watched this morning. Maybe some like old school tech thing or something. Then I went to work, and it was a pretty soft work day, and I brought like a setup so I could do some writing at work. It was pretty sick. Worked out pretty well. Had pretty nice lunch. The weather was fantastic. And after work, I went to my partner, and we went out for a walk. We had some tea. It was really great. And I was feeling pretty good. And then
And then
and then we got back, and we were like, I'm not sure exactly. We were like in her kitchen or something. And then out of nowhere, she said, I'm not sure exactly how it came up, but I remember that she, unprompted, said the whole, it's not the size of the wave, it's the motion of the ocean.
yes, which
It just came up out of nowhere. And it gave me such a sense of dread.
because it reminded you that today is Scorpion Day.
Yeah, and it just felt like I couldn't escape it. And I hate that part of the movie so much. I don't know if we talked about it. There's that's the joke, right? Motion of the wave.
Something like the
size of the
camel,
wave, motion of the ocean thing.
Yeah.
And Armpit is having a drink, and he's joking with people, and we cut to him mid joke, and he says, and then he said, it's not the size of the hump, it's the motion of the camel. And I hate it so much. I fucking hate it so much. It's so bad.
I mean, it's already bad.
It doesn't even rhyme.
Exactly. Like it seems really lazy. Like like the writer or writers or whatever. I guess Mr. Hater.
Yeah, fucking hater.
is sitting there like, how am I gonna write this to be properly funny? Otacon, think of a good joke. I know, Snake. Make it so it's a joke about the camel, but they don't know what boats are. Or an ocean. So have it. I don't know. Oh gosh, there's someone in the elevator with you or whatever. But but then the delivery of it in the scene and everything, it's painfully bad.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it is that it feels like it kind of brings in the camel into this like bad jokes, bad mood thing, because the camel is great.
Yeah.
We have found great affection for the camel. The camel is very good.
Yeah, great acting.
We love the camel.
It has a good vibe to it.
Yeah, it's well, you say it's very cute. It's just a very cute camel, and you kind of feel good whenever the camel is center stage on screen.
I wrote an haiku, by the way, about David Hayter and the Scorpion King, which I wasn't gonna bring this up. We already talked about how we probably shouldn't go down this road.
We had the haiku talk off camera.
Yeah.
It obviously did not work.
But I I don't know, the fact that you talked about David Hayter and writing, and you did a voice.
I sprung some kind of trap here, so bring it on.
Yeah. So here we go. This is a haiku about David Hayter and the Scorpion King writing group. I gotta get my voice right here.
Colonel, I can write. What if she sucks out the goop? I am amazing.
That's my haiku about David Hayter writing the Scorpion King.
It's poignant. It really.
I don't think that's too far from the truth.
No, it's.
Maybe we can get in contact with David Hayter and ask him if he.
You should definitely do that. You should just write your haiku in the email.
Oh yeah, I
like
can send it to him on
yeah.
what's it called?
Yeah, on Cameo.
Cameo.
Yeah. We'll send David Hayter the haiku to have him read it on Cameo.
Yeah, there we go. Well, that's
There
content.
you have it. There you have it. Sorry, David.
I'm not sorry. I'm definitely. I mean, he wrote the movie.
That's true. I'm not sorry either. I'll retract that.
Well,
You deserve it, David.
so my sense before or thinking about this movie was palpable dread. How have you been doing leading up to this viewing?
Good question. I think I haven't thought about it too much, or I guess since this is our third. Is it
Yes,
third?
this is the
Yeah,
third one.
third watch of the movie, and I feel like it's I'm kind of I'm not gonna say that I'm like over the novelty of it, but I think in terms of I'm getting used to it. Like I feel like I've gotten used to this being Monday for I was gonna say the rest of my life, but that's not true. But rather the rest of 2022 at least.
Yeah, we're
But
gonna be doing this well into 2023.
yes, that's true. But yeah, I didn't. I almost want to say that I've started to kind of look forward to it, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. So I will say that I might be feeling a bit. How should we? It's a mix of ambivalence.
Oh, is this your feelings right now? Are we doing the feeling thing?
I thought we were doing the
No, I
feeling
was
thing.
just asking how you were doing before, but we can get into this. So
Yeah. I'll have this be the segue into that then. So I'd say that my emotional state, or rather, I guess, the feelings about it is, or right now, it's a mix of ambivalence because I'm not sure if if it's a good feeling or a bad feeling that I kind of like. Oh, hey, it's Scorpion King Day today, and I'm sure it will not last probably. Uh, and in addition to that, I felt uh, I felt the movie went by rather fast this time. Uh, so I feel I don't know. I guess I feel a bit content. I guess like this was a very smooth watch. Had no didn't feel like I really had a lot of baggage going in, that sort of thing. It all turned out okay.
Mm.
Camel was cool, etc. So something like that.
So before we get into, so you're ambivalent, right? Ambivalent and content.
Yeah,
So I think
bit
those
of
are
a
like
weird mix, but
middling and good feelings.
yeah, exactly. You could say that.
So I have to
Oh,
make a news, not a thumbs up. I have to make the Caesar one.
exactly. We are gonna be exploring
Feelings.
feelings and emotions way past what a sad face and a happy face can
Yeah,
convey.
that's true.
That is something.
So before we get into your, or maybe we can do your, what was your standout point?
Standout point.
What was the one thing?
I think I feel it might be a bit unfair to say this because I don't think you noticed this at the end. I kind of like noticed it for myself, but in the ending scene, because we were looking for armpit during the ending scene, I noticed a background character that I hadn't noticed before, which is he is standing in the background. He looks kind of like some kind of gladiator bodybuilder guy or whatever, wearing some kind of harness, and he's talking to someone next to him. And I got so curious what they're talking about because it looks like I'm not going to try to imitate it too much, but it's like he's hey Keith, that's the Scorpion King. wonder what it's like to be king, haha, or whatever. And it seemed so out of place because everyone else is just standing like, I'm so pleased to see the king become king or whatever. But he was like, oh, dude, what's this? So I'll point him out to you so you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that guy, because I felt I saw that guy for the first time, and it made me feel like there are so many people I haven't seen in the movie
Yeah.
even yet. So that made me hopeful for future watches.
Okay, so ambivalent, content, and guy talking in the last 5 seconds of the movie.
Yes.
So before we get into my part, we have another iteration of
Oh no, I'd forgotten all about this.
Dubious Dwayne details.
welcome to this game show within a podcast.
Okay, in the future we definitely have to do the emotional state after after this.
Is this entrapment?
Yes,
Uh,
100%.
As last time, I am going to ask Oskar to pick one of two facts. 2 in a row, I guess, as well. But he's going to pick one of 2 facts. One of them is false, one of them is true about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Are you ready for the first set of facts?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1. In 2004, Dwayne Johnson was to attempt to partially scale Mount Everest for a WWE promotional event, but he had to back out because of scheduling issues. That's fact number 1. And fact number 2, Dwayne studied criminology and physiology at university in a bid to join the FBI.
Okay, so I'm supposed to pick which one of these are true.
Yes, which is true?
Number 2, 100%.
The FBI.
Yes.
It is true. Did you know this already?
No, I did not know it. It just felt like something, because when I think you can edit this in probably if you find the right picture. But I mean, when I think of young,
Young. Who's young?
not that young. when I think of young Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I think of this one picture of him where he's wearing, like, I might be remembering it wrong, but I think he's wearing like I don't know what it's called in English, but
A turtleneck?
yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah, it's a turtleneck and he has a fanny
Yeah.
pack and it's
Exactly.
doing
Like
the
exactly.
pose.
When I think of that image, actually there's that image, and there's also some image of him where he's like really young and he's sitting in some apartment, and you think he's like 15 or whatever, playing Counter-Strike or whatever he did when when he was 15. But he when I think of young Dwayne, I just always see those two Dwaynes in front of me. And when I get a question like this, I ask myself, would this Dwayne be sitting somewhere and I'm going to join the FBI? It's going to be so kicking rad, or something like that. And absolutely, 100%. That Dwayne would not think, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. Because
Well, that was
that's
the made up one was in 2004, so it wouldn't have been young, or at least sort of young. I should add that Dwayne did he did horribly at university. I think he had like the trash grades. Definitely did not join the FBI. But well, we got this instead. So that's one correct. I think that's your first correct.
That's my first
guess
correct
in the dubious Dwayne details. So are you ready for the second pair of facts?
Yes.
Dwayne was the second choice actor for playing Willy Wonka in Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And number 2, Dwayne holds the highest record. It says Dwayne holds the record for highest assault dive in sports entertainment for elbow dropping wrestler The Edge off the top cage at WrestleMania 7.
Well, one seems a lot more feasible than the other.
Well, maybe that's a trick.
Yeah, but I have a tendency to always think that everything's a trick, and that's why I get tricked all the time. So I'll have to go with the wrestling one.
You are incorrect. He was second choice.
I knew it.
Willy Wonka. And the article I read also spelled Willy Wonka as Willy Wonker. ER.
I
Really
just
weird.
I kept imagining in front of me because you said it was Tim Burton's.
Yes, the one with
Yeah,
Johnny Depp.
because in that movie it's Christopher Lee who play. No, he plays the father actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So
It's
it was
Johnny
The
Depp.
Rock was gonna be. Yeah, exactly. I kept imagining like, oh, oh no, the Christopher Lee was so good as Willy Wonka. So maybe I got it a bit mixed up, but yeah,
Isn't
it's
Christopher Lee the grandfather?
a grandfather, father. I
No,
don't
oh
know.
yeah, he's the dad of Willy Wonka.
Yeah, because it's like the dentist
Yeah.
or whatever, and it's like, stop eating candy or I'll kill you.
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
won't be here anymore, and the house disappears.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one correct, one incorrect. That's still better.
And
an
an improvement over last time, and we can only strive to improve.
Yes,
incrementally.
we make our own destiny.
Exactly.
Okay, so my emotional state for viewing number 3 or after viewing number 3. I think I am relieved because, as you, I definitely felt like this viewing went by pretty quickly.
Yeah, it soared by.
And it was. I think this is also the viewing where we were really starting to get content with just talking over the movie nonstop.
Yeah,
because we know what happens by now.
We were less, try hardy about picking out certain things, so it was a bit of a more organic watch.
But I am also, I think, horrified because I feel like we eliminated so many things this viewing from like we did so many things. Oh, we counted these things. How many? Whoa, we talked about this. We looked at this. Da 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 da. And I also realized that inevitably I'm going to hyper focus so hard on the things I hate, like the hump and the motion of the camel. Like every time I see this, I'm just gonna hate myself and life.
Yeah, but we also did somewhat ascertain that we watched it 3 times now, and 3 out of 3 times you have laughed at the kid.
Oh yeah.
By The Rock.
So maybe that's.
So I feel like there might still be a bit of a buffer, like some a counterweight, one should say, to the negativity that you will doubtlessly
maybe
experience.
It's just gonna add up. It's gonna get to here, and then when he chokes the kid, it's all gonna wash off me, and then I can take the build up again.
Yeah, it will be like a reset.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try and look for
more chokes.
Yeah, exactly. Like have a checkpoint system where you can laugh.
Yeah, I think I had more laughs this time as well. Well, it's kind of hard to count laughs because so many of them are just from talking shit.
Yeah.
But I think the choke is definitely up there. I'm almost starting to laugh at the point where Dwayne enters Theoden King's lab for the first time, because it blows up in his Theoden King's face, and he goes, and then he says, "Are you gonna kill me?" And The Rock says,
"Maybe
later." And he's at the door, and he's just like, "Yeah, maybe later." And it's almost funny.
Yeah.
And I think it might track over to funny at some point.
It might or it might not.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll start hating it as well. My standout moment for this movie, I was going to go with in the beginning where they're fighting the not Norsemen, when the guy gets lifted in the chandelier and the camera zooms in on his open mouth, like he goes like into the camera. I was gonna pick that, but I think I find his World of Warcraft leveling weapons funnier.
Yeah, the Tonka weapons.
Yeah, the Tonka guns. I almost said the Tonka axes, Tonka hawks.
Which he doesn't even use. He just dies
Yeah.
before he even gets to do anything with them.
I also think we have never mentioned the fact that The Rock just punches a guy like 200 times.
Yeah, he does. I think I mentioned while we watched it, we mentioned it, but I think the first time we watched the movie, I mentioned it, and I said it reminded me of like in the Demon Souls remake. There's a riposte animation for with your unarmed attack. When you do a riposte while you're unarmed, it looks eerily similar.
Yeah, maybe
that
they mocapped.
Yeah,
they took the
might have
mocap
just
data from
exactly. They just took all of that from Scorpion King.
Yeah, so that was my best part. I am happy and horrified, and I was all about the Tonka Hawks. And I think that concludes.
Sounds like a good place to end it.
Yes. We'll see you guys next week for viewing number 4 of the Scorpion King. Ta-ta.